Welcome back to the Bad Influence podcast, where we show you how to take control of your life without the bullshit. I'm the bad influence that you need in your life, Bjordan Banderas. On today's episode, I want to cut through the bullshit. Anyone can bitch and moan about what's wrong in their lives, but do they have the guts to fix it? That's a good question, don't you think? Well, today I'm calling you out. Yes, you. If you're stuck whining more than working, it's time for a wake-up call. The era of pointing fingers is over. Think about it. How many times you've heard someone complain, I hate my job, I hate my bills, I hate my body, I hate my life, right? Probably you have done it just like I have in the past. But when you ask them what they're doing about it, they give you a blank stare. I see this on social media. I see this with my friends and everything. People like to complain, and then you ask them, hey, what are you doing to fix your problems? They just look at you like, what? Same thing on social media. Someone complains about their life. Someone says something like, hey, what are you doing to fix it? And then the person posting about the problems or the complaints gets all mad and upset, right? So I think this sounds familiar for a lot of you. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone you know. Either way, enough is enough. Because here's the hard truth. Whining is easy. Solutions are hard. Complaints let you off the hook. They serve up pity on a silver platter. But pity doesn't pay the bills or fix your marriage. It just keeps you stuck. And if you're happy being stuck, keep whining. Stay where you are. This isn't for you or anything like that. If not, buckle up, because we're about to shake things up. Today, I'm dishing out the fiery truth about why your problems are not magically disappearing and how you can finally step up to the plate. I'm done with the fucking excuses. And you should be too. So are you ready to trade in your pity party for actual progress? Well, let's do it. But let's zero in on the issue. People cling to their complaints like a baby holding onto a blanket, a safety blanket. It's warm, it's familiar, and it absolves them of responsibility. That blanket is your scapegoat, your reason not to act. And yeah, it's comfortable until you realize you're suffocating under it. The second you shift from complaining to solution-oriented, you're no longer the victim. You're accountable. And that's scary for most people. Accountability means you have to do the work. And what if you fail? So you stall. You throw a pity party, hoping someone else will fix it. But guess what? Nobody is as invested in your life as you are, or as at least you should be. They might offer advice or give you a handout, but if they solve your problems for you, they can use it as leverage. They can be all like, oh, you know what, you owe me this because I'll help you with this, so now you're going to do this like it or not. And I know all of your problems, so I can tell people how fake you are and shit like that, right? You don't want that. And I don't know about you, but I refuse to be anyone's bargaining chip. Still not convinced? Look, I've been there, bitching about my problems, waiting for someone to swoop in and save me. I played the victim so damn well, you think it was an Oscar-worthy performance. I'm not even kidding. Why? Because I didn't believe I was smart enough or deserving enough to live a problem-free life. I was like, well, this is my problem because of probably who I am. This is my life because of what I did or whatever, you know? But then, out of nowhere, I wasn't expecting it. Life threw me a curveball. My wife got sick. Suddenly, I I didn't have the luxury of whining. I had to act. Like right at the moment. Like right there and then. Survival mode kicked in. In that split second, complaining felt ridiculous to me because it wasn't going to pay the bills. It wasn't going to fix her health. And it sure as hell wasn't going to keep a roof over our heads. I realized I had to level up. I had to learn English better. I had to become more articulate. I had to be more knowledgeable about her illnesses. I had to develop new skills, land better paying jobs to support us. And I'm not going to lie, it was a soul-shaking process. Because no one handed me a magic formula. I busted my ass, made mistakes, got back up. And I did until it stuck again and again and again. And guess what? It worked. Somehow, it fucking worked. So, if a once whining victim like me can figure shit out when life demanded it, you can too. Yes, you can. Because I was able to do it, I just had to learn a lot of new shit. But first, you've got to see that your complaining isn't helping. It's only numbing your willingness to act. So let's go over about how to flip that script. And here's the most important part of today's episode. Human brains, our little brains, are wired for comfort. We seek the path of least resistance. That's true. Complaining provides instant relief, letting you vent your frustrations without expending the effort to change the situation. It's a quick dopamine hit of self-pity. And yes, complaining does give you dopamine. There's neuroscience behind this. So it just gives you a quick hit. It's like it gives you the dopamine because now you're excited or expecting for someone to swoop in, save you, because now you're the victim. So you get a little bit of dopamine and it doesn't help. But creation or solution finding requires an entirely different mindset. You face the possibility of failure, which triggers fear. Fear is uncomfortable, so your brain pushes you back to your wine and dine routine of complaining. So it becomes a vicious cycle. So neuroscience shows that action-based thinking, where you focus on solutions, fires up the brain's problem-solving networks, building resilience and a sense of empowerment. Complaining, on the other hand, cements a victim mentality, keeping stress hormones high and motivation low, really low, really, really low. So simply put, every time you catch yourself complaining, you're losing an opportunity to engage your brain's creative engine. Now, let's go over how to transition from helpless whining to unstoppable solution mode. Step 1. This is important. This is the most important step for today. Recognize the trap. Awareness is your first line of defense. Each time you whine, internally or aloud, call yourself out, name it. Say, I'm bitching again. I'm complaining again. I'm back to my old habit of complaining, whining, and dining and doing all this negative shit. When you do this snaps you from autopilot to conscious choice. Step 2, ask the magic question. This is also important. Shift your mindset by asking, what can I do about this right now? That one question kills victim thinking and lights a fire under solution-focused thinking. If the answer is nothing, move on, because there's nothing that you can do. Whining and complaining is not going to do anything. If the answer is something, do it. If the answer, for example, is that you need a better job or you need to learn a skill that will give you a better job, then do it. Don't stall, do it. Learn the skill, look for the better job, just start moving. Step 3, break it down. If you're overwhelmed, then chop that mountain of a problem into bite-sized tasks. Don't freak out over the entire project. Just handle the next actionable step. Progress over perfection. And you might want to write this down and read it to yourself out loud every morning before you go to work, before you start working on your project, before you start doing anything. Progress over perfection. When you focus on progress over perfection, that's what's going to get you to the finish line. Step 4, embrace learning. If you don't have the skills, learn them. Learn those skills. Whether it's a language barrier or a technical hurdle, there's a tutorial or course for everything. You can find anything online. And the most important thing also is that a lot of this information is free for you. Yes, it is. So quit waiting for someone to spoon feed you. Invest in your own damn competence. Step 5, seek allies, not saviors. Look for people who'll mentor you or collaborate with you, but don't hand them the wheel. You're the driver, they're just your GPS. If you let them solve it all, you hand them the keys to your freedom. Step 6, reward yourself. Yes, reward yourself. Each time you solve a chunk of the problem, celebrate. Positive reinforcement trains your brain to crave more solution-focused behavior. A little victory dance never hurt anyone. So celebrate however you want. If you complete a task or a challenge and you like to celebrate by going to an expensive restaurant, if you can afford it and it doesn't break the bank, go. If it's an expensive vacation, if you can afford it and it doesn't break the bank, go. Whatever it is, as long as it doesn't break the bank and it doesn't keep you poor or anything like that, go. Do it. Sometimes it's just buying something nice for you. I do that all the time whenever I reach a goal. Sometimes I just give myself a trip to the Himalayan salt cave here in Salt Lake, which is awesome. And that's what I do, because it helps me relax. Step 7, rinse and repeat. Life is a never-ending pile of obstacles. Get used to it. Literally, get used to it, because solutions are not one and done. You'll use these steps again and again, and each time you'll get a bit stronger and a bit smarter. So master these steps and complaining becomes a thing of the past. You'll be too busy leveling up to waste oxygen whining. You're gonna look back and you're going to see people complaining around you, and you're going to be like, you're wasting oxygen. You're wasting your time on whining and complaining instead of finding a fucking solution. And then you're going to be able to move forward while they are still behind you complaining about their lives, about why nobody rescues them, right? And then you're going to realize, oh shit, I was like that, and that held me back for so long, but not anymore. But let's go over the practical tools to keep you laser focused. Because if you decide to do this, any of these steps, or change your mindset or whatever, you need to be laser focused. And in today's day and age, with distractions literally in your hand because of your phone, social media, and whatever, it's harder to remain laser focused. But here are the tools. The first tool I want to give you is the no complaint journal. Carry a tiny notebook or put it on your notepad on your phone, however you want to do it. Every time you complain about traffic, your boss, your partner, make a note. At the end of the day, review how often you complain. It's sobering. Because you look at this list and you're going to be like, shit. I complain about, in my case, about my drink being hot. What the fuck? I'm wasting time. Right? That's what happened with me. And I know people that have done this and they're like, shit, I complain a lot. Because this awareness alone can slash your wine time in half. So imagine having more time just for you to do whatever you want to do that will get you to the next level. Tool number 2. Another tool that I love to use is the problem-solution ratio. For every complaint you dish out, you owe yourself 2 solutions. That's right, 2. For example, if you're like, I hate my job, fine. Everybody does, right? At one point in their lives, everybody does. But at this point, you must propose 2 possible changes, like updating your resume, or asking for a raise, or asking to be moved to a different department, or move on within the company, or move on altogether. This compels you to think solutions first. This literally lets you train your brain to find solutions instead of getting stuck on complaining and whining. The third tool is time block your task. Don't let your to-do list become an endless whine fest. Allocate chunks of time for each problem. Focus hard. And once that block is over, move on. No time left to moan. You're moving on to what's next. Once you're done, it's done and done. No more looking back, no more complaining. You're moving on to the next task. The next tool is an accountability buddy. Team up with a friend. For me, it's my wife. So you can team up with a friend or spouse who also wants to kill the complaint game. If you get an accountability buddy, one of the things that you need to do is to check in daily, call each other out, and high five each other when a solution is found. Mutual support keeps you on track. And if you're still not sure if this matters, well, think again. Because chronically negative people repel opportunities, crush morale in groups, and sabotage their own potential. And you don't want to be that type of person. But on the other side, solution-oriented individuals climb the ladder faster, build better relationships, and live more fulfilled lives. Imagine a life where you see roadblocks as challenges, not life sentences. Where each problem solved expands your confidence, your skill set, and your network. Where complaining is background noise and creation is your default mode. In the long haul, this mindset shift can rewrite your entire story. You become the kind of person others admire. The unstoppable force who finds a way, no matter what. And that, my friends, is pure freedom. Because now, no matter what happens in life, no matter what gets in front of you, you're going to find a way. You're going to create a solution no matter what. And that's what gives you the freedom. So if you ever catch yourself mid-complaint, remember, you're flushing time and energy down the drain. That's what complaining does. And when you do that, when you catch yourself doing this, that moment is your cue to pivot. Because solutions await if you choose to claim them. Now let's go over some of the doubts that you might be thinking. One big doubt that everybody has at one point in their life when they try to change their mindset or upgrade their life, change their life, is the famous, what if I fail? And you might ask that right now. Yes, what if I fail, right? Well, failing beats whining any day because you'll learn something and your next solution attempt will be stronger. Failure is just feedback. Treat it like data, not a death sentence, because it's not a death sentence. Another doubt is, I don't have resources. What about that? Like, I don't have the resources. Well, then get resourceful. Tons of people have built empires from scratch. The internet is your school, your marketplace, and your networking hub. There's one story that I like to remind myself. It's from the co-founder of Paul Mitchell, the hairline product. His name is John Paul DeJoria. He was homeless twice. When I listen to his story and the way that he tells it, he says, I faced homelessness again, so I just had to figure it out. I didn't complain. I figured it out. I faced hurdles. I faced challenges. And I figured it out. I looked for solutions. And I became a billionaire by overcoming the challenges, by finding the solutions. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm building my empire by overcoming solutions, by overcoming challenges, by overcoming challenges, by learning, by not whining. And you can do this. And remember this. The internet has so much knowledge that it's free. You don't have to pay in order for you to know now. There's YouTube, Google, there's so many things. Now you have ChatGPT. There's so many things that are free that where you can learn. Because that's what I've been doing. I've been learning for free. I don't have to pay anybody for all this knowledge. All of this knowledge when it comes to psychology and neuroscience is out there for free. I just read it. And then if I don't know a word, I actually look for the meaning. I follow psychologists and neuroscientists, and whenever they go into podcasts, I listen to them. And it's free. So you have the opportunity to do all of this for free, to learn new things, to level up your skill set. So if you think you're short on resources, maybe you're just short on creativity. Another doubt is the famous one. I'm tired of trying. I try again, and nothing happens. Then maybe you're not tired enough. Because the alternative, living in your mess, should be more exhausting than the effort to fix it. When your back is truly against the wall, you'll find that extra push. Oh, I know it. I've been there. When we lost everything, when my wife got sick, and my back was behind the wall, and I felt the pressure in my chest, that sword, AK-47, whatever you want to call it, I had to find a way. And I did. I found that extra push. So maybe your back is not against the wall yet. Your back hasn't touched that wall. And that's what you think is that's what you think that it's not worth it or anything like that. But wait until your back touches the wall. So it's better to start doing it right now before that happens. Because when that happens, you might not be ready and you might be so much more tired. So here's your wake-up call. If you spend more time bitching about problems than busting your ass on solutions, you're choosing to stay stuck because no one's coming to save you. That might sound harsh, and like I said on a previous episode, I am harsh. I am blunt. But it's the best news you'll ever hear because it means you're in control. So stop dumping your energy into complaints. Channel it into meaningful action instead. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But damn, it's worth it. Action leads to progress. Progress leads to success. And success kills the urge to complain. And that's it for today. Share this episode with someone who needs it. Someone stuck in the ocean of excuses. Let them know there is another way. The more of us who shift from whining to winning, the louder and prouder this community becomes. This is the Bad Influence Podcast with your host, Bjordan Banderas, lighting a fire under your complacency. Remember, complaints are the shackles. Solutions are the key. Which one are you going to choose? Hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and start creating solutions. We're done sitting on the sidelines. Time to get in the game and own your future. And have a great day.